Welcome to the Cottage Hospital 1998 Health Fair. My name is Michael Sullivan, and with me is Mike Wayne. Mike is an 8th grade student at the Cyrus Pierce Middle School, and he participated in Shadow Day earlier this week and was my shadow. So we asked him to co-host our show with Gino to share with the community all of the wonderful things happening here at our health fair. Mike, welcome.
Hello.
Tell me something. Could you tell the people of Nantucket what Shadow Day really is?
Shadow Day is a student that follows around a worker and learns about their occupation.
And what did you learn during your visit to the hospital?
I learned about your job and how the hospital runs with what you do and about all the different things in the hospital.
Now, you had to give a report to a particular person. My Wednesdays, Gino, are my meetings in the morning with the hospital president. So Mike was prepared, and why don't you tell us what happened with the report to the president?
Well, I had to report on the health fair, which is today, and I gave a whole report to the president of the hospital, and that was it.
You weren't too intimidated walking into the hospital president's office, were you?
No.
All right, great. Let's move on and we'll check in with some folks. Matter of fact, right across our way, Gino, are probably two of the most prominent people in healthcare on Nantucket Island, Tim Lepre and Cheryl Bartlett. Dr. Lepre, thank you for being here.
It's very nice and very informative and very well organized. And it gives me a chance to talk to Cheryl because she's much too busy. I have to make an appointment to see her.
We don't see her as often at the hospital as we once did. How many years were you at the hospital, Cheryl?
19.
And tell us, how is everything at NAN?
Nantucket AIDS Network, unfortunately, our business is still good. Hopefully, we'll see some new treatments come out in the next 5 years that will make HIV and AIDS a much more chronic and manageable disease.
What are you doing here today at the fair?
Today, we're actually making a quilt panel for Joe Peterson, who's somebody who grew up on Nantucket and died of AIDS about 3 months ago.
Hi, I'm here with
Martha Butler,
and you are in charge of
the registration table for the hospital health fair. It takes anywhere from 20 to 22 people to register, and they all do 2-hour shifts. And when the people come in, the participant that was to come to the health fair, we give them a packet. And the packet must be filled out with a registration form, and it's $3 to register. And then we have certain questions to ask, and then they have to fill out these forms, and then they enter in the blood. They may have their blood drawn for tests, and then we have lots of screening doctors here that we all hope they participate in.
The chairman of the board of Nantucket College Hospital, Mr. Ballas, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me. This is a wonderful community event, and as I just mentioned to Gino, I would certainly love to see everyone get screened, especially men for prostate. And I was just talking to Dr. Roberts, and even with oral cancer, if we could just find one person out of this community health that we do that has a problem that we could take care of, we do save lives on a yearly basis. There's always small members of our community we found have not had screenings, and with this screening we take them a little further, and I think it's a life-saving event. And I certainly appreciate your coming, Gino.
Absolutely. And with prevention and education, we even bring in students from the middle school. You know Mike Wayne?
Yeah, I know his uncle very well.
Uncle Paul.
You're here with Nancy Soderberg, and I'm a volunteer for this wonderful effort by Nantucket Cottage Hospital to give the people of Nantucket a chance to make sure they are in healthy well-beings. And you are standing here. I'm also president of the Nantucket Civic League, which is how I happen to know Gino, etc. You're standing here in the room where people are getting tested for Lyme disease, lipid blood profile. They're having their blood sugar tested. We have the blood pressure table here. And it's a wonderful service because we want to be sure that all these people are well taken care of. In the back part of the room is a man, Dave Schmidt, from Club New. And that's another wonderful part of keeping well, is to keep your body in good tone and muscular condition.
Hello.
Hello.
It seems to be pretty busy over there. Why are you?
We're winding down. Yeah. Not well, kinda. It's been a busy morning.
Has it?
Yeah. It's
What
just,
did you do? I mean, what kind
we're doing body fat tests and doing just kind of fitness promotion type of things today.
Mike and I are here with Sharon Tebow, who is the co-chair of the 1998 Health Fair and a member of the Board of Trustees at the hospital. Sharon, how's the crowd this year?
I think the crowd is fabulous. We've done a lot of wonderful publicity. It's a super event, and the weather's helping too. I think it's not an indoor, or not an outdoor day. It's a good day to come to the health fair.
It's a good day to come right in and have your blood drawn and do some great testing. But this kind of a program really takes so many people to put on the event. And how many volunteers would you say we
I
had?
think we have easily 100 volunteers. And most of them come back every year. It's something that they enjoy doing. It's just something they look forward to.
That's a real great part that I see of Nantucket Island, of not only the volunteerism, but people really acknowledging that healthcare is important and a turnout for that kind of support. And it's great that we have this care, but it's also great that folks are showing up to assist in providing all those screenings.
Because they believe in it, and they are, I think, are very pleased that the hospital is providing this for the community. It's a much needed service.
And from the Board of Trustees perspective, providing a community health fair, most hospitals have several small fairs throughout the year and promote one service, but the trustees here have set a course of having one large one and really have a comprehensive fair. Do you see that as a positive for the community?
Well, you can argue it both ways, of course. I see it as a positive thing. You can come with the family. Everybody can come on the same day. It's not one for men, one for women, one for older, one for younger. And also, it's, I should think, logistically easier to get it all set up once.
I'm volunteering.
You are. Have you stopped by any booths yet to see what's available?
I was in helping with the blood work in the gym for a long time, and then I've just been standing here.
And what do you do to help with the blood work?
I actually opened Band-Aids for them.
Really? Well, every volunteer counts, and we need everybody's help. You're a senior in high school this year?
Yes, I am.
And where are you going to school next year?
Elon College,
Where is that?
North Carolina.
And what would you like to study?
Hopefully physical therapy, pre-med.
Well, we've got lots of physical therapy demonstrations going on here today. You might please come by and see them, and we'll be showing them on the show as well. Wish you a lot of success, and we're proud to see many Nantucketer come back and maybe practice medicine on the island in some form. So don't forget us once you graduate.
I won't.
Promise?
I promise.
You guys ever seen the Jaws of Life work before? No. Does it look pretty cool? Yeah. Doesn't it?
Shut up.
You know what they're going to do, don't you? I think they're going to lift that whole roof off. They're going to peel it right back. Are you guys getting checked out? No. You guys aren't. What'd you come out here for?
To get candy.
To get candy?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right.
We're here with one of the firefighters.
Bob Bates.
Bob Bates. And Bob is going to show us a car. Tell us what you're going to do.
What we're going to do is we're going to simulate as if we've had a motor vehicle accident. We're going to simulate that the patient is trapped in the vehicle. We're going to chalk underneath all four sides, or two sides of the vehicle, sorry, 4 chalks to keep the vehicle stabilized. We're going to remove all the windows from the vehicle. We're going to cut the A post, which is the front windshield post, the post right behind where the driver and the passenger sit, make a crease with our cutter in the roof. We're going to flap the roof back. All the windows will be removed from the vehicle prior to any cutting or any extrication work.
Obviously, time is of the essence when patients are in a car accident like this, or victims. What's a standard that you would use to want to meet to get somebody out? 2 minutes, 10 minutes, what is it? Depending
on the condition of the vehicle, and with this it'll go a lot easier because there's no mechanical damage to the vehicle. Depending on the condition of the vehicle, 5 to 15 minutes, depending on how bad it is.
Okay, let's see your show.
Huh. That's interesting how you're breaking that window. You pop it right at the corner like that? Yep. Unreal.
Then go right underneath. Behind him on the...
Is that what the jaws of life is? Is that what it's... Yep.
We're here with Channing Eggenberg, the firefighter prevention officer here in Nantucket. Channing, the jet skis, how often do they use them, and really what does the fire department use them for?
Well, actually, a few years back we had an incident out in the Atlantic at Rip where we almost lost the swimmer as well as a couple of our own personnel, and as a result of that we had a couple donated, and subsequently now we have a program with Kawasaki where they give us 2 brand new ones every year for no charge. They are ideally used for the surf conditions. Conventional boat, if you run it out in the surf and it flips over, you're done. It's a done deal. You know, now you got to go rescue your own personnel. These are actually designed for surf. They're designed to flip over in the surf. They're designed to do pretty much anything you can use them for. They don't have a propeller, so there's no chance of the rescuer or the victim getting injured from the propulsion device. They'll carry up to 3 personnel, so we'll go out with 2 personnel. We have a stretcher. You can see this orange Stoke stretcher that's actually towed behind the units in the surf. And what they do is we'll go out, one of the rescuers jumps out, stabilizes the victim, will come back again, pick them up, put them in the stretcher, and off we go. The nice thing about with the surf is that these things are so quick that you can get in and out in a set of waves without endangering anybody in the surf line.
We're here with Steve Murphy, a firefighter EMT from the Nantucket Fire Department. Steve, what's the involvement of the fire department here at the health fair?
What we're basically doing is we're showcasing our EMS capabilities within the community. The motorcycle here is one. We also have our vehicle extrication truck that's here. That is showing how we're going to take and trap people out of cars, and how we have special procedures we need to do that. We have several volunteers here with our ambulance, also with our water rescue crafts, our dive team, our cardiac defibrillation program. And the motorcycle, again, this is our big thing. This is a project we've been putting into. It's going to be hopefully showcased at the state EMS Day up at the State House. We're going to show this. This is actually a project that one of our guys is really headlong into. There's only several communities within the country that have this program. We have a state police is coming down in a couple weeks. They're going to do our safety programs, and this is really our rapid intervention program for the summer.
You and Bruce Watts and the folks down at the fire department really deserve a lot of credit for all your involvement in the community, and we appreciate you being a part of the fair.
Thank you very much.
The exit referral section here of the hospital's health fair, and after patients go through their screenings and their blood tests, they're seen by a nurse from our home health department to go over what preliminary results we have diagnosed and seen, and offer them some follow-up consultations if needed. And down here where Gino is panning right now, over 22 screenings of different physicians are here, from skin cancer screenings, prostate screenings, glaucoma, asthma, breast exams. We have oral cancer, really a wide array of different kinds of screenings. And really this is our largest ever. We've got 22 of the screenings and over 30 exhibitors. Even the elementary school and high school cafeteria have a healthy food table that Gino was sampling earlier.
What we're doing today is we're offering healthy examples of some of the things we offer here at the CPS NHS lunch program. A lot of parents are not aware that we have sandwiches made to order, fresh made pizzas every day.
Wow. This is beautiful.
We made a trail mix today with
Yeah, with that trail mix, we found out he's never had it.
Well, you know why? Because the kids throw it all over the cafeteria. Unfortunately. But the U.S. government gives us raisins, dates, peanuts, and we utilize those in making that. Plus, we added some cereals and some M&Ms and some white chocolate chips.
That's true.
But unfortunately, when we serve it, they like to throw it all over the cafeteria, so that's why we don't use it that often.
Okay. Well, what do we have here? What are you doing?
This is what these are. These are flavored tortillas, 12-inch round tortillas. We have a tomato flavored one and a spinach. We also have a 7-herb one, but that's out front right now. And we also have a plain, just white roll. It's a roll-up, similar to the box lunch restaurant in Hyannis. Sure. There's a new chain, one at the Cape Cod Mall. Yep. It's a roll-up type sandwich that we make. We have a sandwich by here every day that the kids can get sandwiches made to order with any type of meat, probably 10 to 12 different vegetables. Mayonnaise, hot honey mustard, you name it, vinegar and oil. We have Italian, they can get it made to order, and every one of them comes with a chips and a piece of fruit and a milk.
Great.
We have numerous alternatives here.
Well, this is wonderful.
And then this is a pizza we do use here sometimes often. This is a 5-cheese garlic French bread pizza. It does come pre-made, but it's very nice.
Yeah, but how healthy is that for kids to eat?
Well, what they're looking at now, what the USDA is recommending, is a 30% or less total caloric content fat.
Yeah.
So what they do is you take the whole meal. Yeah. So even though this pizza maybe have a high fat content, when you mix that with a tossed salad, usually cucumber slices and chilled pineapple would be served with this, in a 2% milk, the total caloric content of that meal is below the 30% recommended level that the USDA has recommended. As the American Cancer Society, so on the American Heart Association, doing as prevention factors to reduce your cancer and heart disease risk. So that's the goal with the school lunch programs now across the country, is the fat content is the total nutrition content is a big thing, but fat is a big issue.
We're here with Brenda Johnson, the clinical nursing supervisor of our home health department, but also a member of our automatic external defibrillator team and cardiac CPR instructor and several other things that most of us on the island know that you do. Brenda, can you tell us about your booth and in particular about the defibrillator program?
Well, our booth is specifically the chain of survival, and the chain of survival is, as you can see up there, it's early access, early CPR, early defib, and early advanced cardiac life support. And the way all those 4 links work together is how people can best get the best care that they need in a timely fashion. To access, what we try to emphasize in our classes is we try to emphasize recognizing that there's a problem, and we offer CPR classes at the school, community school, and also at the hospital. So the idea is to recognize that there's a problem and gain entry into the emergency medical system. Now on Nantucket, that's by calling 911. We have an enhanced 911.
What does enhanced mean as opposed to a regular 911?
Enhanced 911 means that when you call 911, it automatically comes up on a screen at the police station, and it tells you that Brenda Johnson lives on 16 Meadowview Drive, and the number is 228-1863. And they'll ask you the nature of your emergency.
Paul's going to have a lot of calls now coming to the house after you told the whole community your phone number.
That's okay. I'm never home. I'm always working. So anyways, what happens is they'll ask you the nature of your emergency. The dispatchers are all trained. They have emergency protocols that they can handle to help anybody get through whatever they need until the ambulance gets there. The police are all first responders. They now carry AEDs on their cruisers and emergency equipment. They have oxygen, ambu bags. They know what to do.
With the AEDs too, you were instrumental in having the program, the defibrillator program, named after Charlie Flanagan, a well-known Nantucketer. Why did you nominate him?
Well, Charlie Flanagan is the reason that we're all able to do what we do as far as instructors in teaching CPR. When I first started working in '75, the hospital had the ambulance. We had a van, and none of us really knew about emergency medicine. And it was after an accident in, I believe, '74 that they just started to get together and work on the emergency, really getting a comprehensive emergency team together. '74, I believe they started with the first EMT course. Charlie was instrumental in teaching that and really promoting emergency medicine on Nantucket. He is the affiliate faculty for the Heart Association as far as all our instructors go for CPR, and it's his passion, and he deserves it.
Would you do a demonstration of the defib for us?
Sure. This is the HeartStream semi-automatic external defibrillator that we've purchased. This is a really very user-friendly machine. The reason why do we have a defibrillator? We have defibrillators because sudden cardiac arrest, or SCA, and I'm going to read this. is the unexpected loss of a person's pulse and blood pressure. And this occurs as an electrical malfunction of the heart. And sometimes it's one of the only sign and symptom of a heart attack. It can happen within 1 to 2 hours of a heart attack. So what happens is when you do basic life support or CPR, you're doing that to resuscitate the person's brain. You want to keep their brain alive. And the only thing that's really going to help that sudden cardiac arrest is a defibrillator, because their heart rhythm is normally in a fibrillatory rhythm. Okay. So it's not, the heart is not beating profusely. So what happens is you need a defibrillator to defibrillate that fibrillatory rhythm, okay? And so what happens is you identify that a person is breathless, pulseless, and so you want to hook them up to this machine. So what will happen is an emergency personnel will identify that there's a problem. They'll come up, they'll attach these pads, which you can see are very self-explanatory. They tell you where to go. One's going to go up in the upper chest, one's going to go down here, and you plug in this machine, and you turn it on.
Pads the patient's bare chest.
Okay? So you apply
Flashing light. Analyzing heart rhythm. Wow. Do not touch the patient.
Now, obviously, if this was on a real person, these are training cables. You couldn't do this.
Shock advised.
Is the idea that anyone can basically, by following those directions, use this machine?
Yes, but you need to
shock now.
Yeah.
Press the orange button now. Shock delivered.
We're here with the president of the hospital, Lucille Giddings. Lucille, would you turn right around here and say hello to Gino?
Fine, thank you. Nice to see you again.
The Mike and Mike show are here, obviously. Mike was in earlier this week to give his report to the president during Shadow Day.
He was.
How is the health fair going this year?
Excellent. I think we've got more people this year than we've ever had before, and you can see we've probably increased our educational programs by 50%, and we have wonderful screenings going on. So I think it's all in all, it's a wonderful success, and it's a real good community program.
What were you setting up here?
Oh, our sunscreen. You know, we have to be very careful on the island. We have a lot of sunbathers, and we want to show that we support them, but they should be using SP15 to make sure that they don't get any sunburn, so we don't see them in the emergency department.
Can you tell us what you're doing here?
Well, we're fingerprinting the kids for their parents, so they'll have a record of their fingerprints on file if they ever need it.
And why would they need a file for?
Well, you know, fingerprints, they're formed on your fingers before you're born, and they last till you die, and they never change throughout your whole life. And each person's fingerprints are unique from each other person. The only thing they do is when they're a little kid and they get older, they just grow bigger, but they don't change. They still look exactly the same. And we fingerprint them so that there's a record in case anything ever happens and they get lost or missing and they have to identify them. The fingerprints are the best way to identify people. And we give the cards right to the parents so that they can keep them with them in their safe deposit box or in a safe place in the house.
Just suppose you cut your finger, or one of your fingers, and you had a scar.
Well, the scar will show up, but the details all around the scar will be the same as in the original fingerprint. The only thing different will be an extra, will be a little scar that you can see, but it won't change the print though.
Okay. Do you have anything to show us?
Sure. Well, do you know that there's not just detail in the tips of your fingers, it goes all down through your fingers, into your palms, and it's also on the bottom of your feet. It has the same ridge detail as your fingerprints. And we could use any of those places to make an identification. But the common thing, when people touch objects, they mostly use their fingerprints. That's why we just take the tips.
Jimmy Ellis here too. Jim, who heads up the Nantucket State Police Force here. Jim, come on over here for a second, and want to thank you for your help. This is the second year that the State Police have provided this service?
Yes, it is the second year.
And why did you, or how did you come to making a decision to offer this?
Last year, they had approached us on the health fair, and nobody had ever offered the fingerprinting for the children. And I figured it would be a good opportunity for exposure of the State Police on the island, and also for the parents to bring the children in and, you know, get this this packet, so-called packet, for if they ever needed it. Hopefully they don't need it, but...
How many children would you say you have signed up over the last 2 years?
Well over 200. We're probably close to 250 that we've printed between last year and this year.
That's great, and on behalf of the hospital, I want to thank the State Police.
I want to thank you for inviting us.
I'm with Keith. And could you tell me what these patients are doing?
Sure. We have a couple of the patients that I work with in the hospital, and we're adding to their land therapy by having them come into the pool. Especially with patients that have had surgeries. A couple of them had surgeries on their legs. So it's very beneficial for them to get in the water and work on proper mechanics on walking with the help of the water to help float them so they don't put a lot of weight on those joints. We have a couple patients here now. Do you want to hear about what they went through with their surgery?
Sure.
David over here with the goggles on, he had a pretty significant surgery. He had a tibial osteotomy, and that's where they take a wedge out of the top of your bone, your tibia, to help decrease some of the forces on his knee. He has some arthritis in his knee. So he'll need to have a knee replacement down the road, and now he's basically buying a little time before he has that. He came to me walking with barely able to put any weight on that knee and using both two crutches, and so we got him going in the pool, and he learned how to walk all over again with the help of the water to float him. And now he's down to walking with a cane, and he's doing really well. And we have Sherry over here pointing at the clock. She had a knee surgery too, where there's a tendon in her knee, the patella tendon, and she had part of that removed. So she's working on really enhancing her cardiovascular, the ability for her heart to pump out, and keeping her status with her cardiovascular status up as high as possible, and strengthening her leg too. And then we have a couple other patients in here. Joe, who's raising her arm up there, that's pretty darn good there. When we first started, she can only raise her arm up just above her waist. So she has some restrictions in her shoulder. She can't move her arm because the structures have tightened down in there prior as a result of a previous injury. So as you can see, she's got full range on her right shoulder, and her left shoulder, she's getting there. So when she gets in the water, she's moving against resistance in every direction, which is excellent for her. Not only is she getting range of motion, but she's working on strengthening.
We should let people know that there's nothing wrong with Michael.
There is nothing wrong with Mike.
It's been a long day for him.
He's just a tired shadow, and we're just resting him up for next year, Mike. We'll make sure that we bring you back next year for a visit to the health fair as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Gino, on behalf of the hospital and the Board of Trustees at the hospital, and Lucille Giddings, our president, I want to thank the Nantucket community, the Nantucket Rotary Club, over 100 volunteers, our great shadow here, Mike Wayne, and you for coming to the fair, and we look forward to seeing you next year.
Thank you.